What's good, everybody? It's your boy, the one and only, the only one, and today I'm going to be showing you how to do this. Not this one, but this one. Stay tuned. This is the final solo battle video for Madden 2020. Everything you need to know. Before we get into the video today, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. We are continuing to try to grow this community. Our goal for the year is 10K subs by December. So let's see if we can hit that mark. We start off kind of slow, but we're moving right along during this coronavirus time. So I appreciate all you guys for hanging out with your boy. But I'm not gonna spend too much time on introductions because you're here for solo battles. Let's go ahead and get into how you actually score 26K on solo battles. The first thing and most important thing to do is show you guys not only how I set up my team, but also the playbooks I use so you guys can follow along with what we're doing. So let's go ahead and get into my team right now. I do have a 97 overall offense and a 98 overall defense, but it shouldn't be too hard. You don't absolutely need a God squad or anything close to a God squad to complete this. You just need to follow along. So let's go ahead and show you how I set up my offense. So first things first, I have different lineups. I have a Solo Battles 1 and a Solo Battles 2 lineup. I'm sticking with the Solo Battles 2 lineup just because it has kind of like the exact scheme that I need, and I'll walk you guys through that. So you're gonna wanna create a Solo Battle lineup if your team is not already set up like this. And before you go into Solo Battles, you wanna switch over to that, of course, Solo Battle lineup. Now, I actually put 2 receivers with special abilities and a running back. When I go up against tougher squads, it's a little harder to run. So then I switch back over to having my quarterback have escape artists. That way I can get some extra running yards with my quarterback. But this is pretty much who I have at most times when I'm doing solo battles. And of course, it doesn't really matter. The key here is actually your running back needs to have these chems on it. And I'm gonna walk you through all the chems. And all right, so let me show you what chems I have on Saquon, because this is really the key for, at least for me, when you're going up against those tougher squads. He has Jukebox, Inside Zone Guru, and Outside Zone Guru for solo battles. And the reason why we do that is because inside and outside zone runs are the most OP. So why not make them even more OP by giving him chems? So Saquon is a big key to have these chems on him because it helps us, you know, pretty much just do what we need to do. Randall Cunningham, I have, you know, Bazooka, but it doesn't really matter. No Look Deadeye, Escape Artist, Dash and Deadeye, and Human Joystick. You don't really need any of this stuff. Like I said before, the Escape Artist is just if we go up against a tough opponent and we need some extra rushing yards, we switch over to Randall instead of having 2 receivers. And then on Torrey Holt, really, honestly, these don't matter again, but I do have a Route Technician, Streak Specialist, Wide Receiver Apprentice, and Post Flag Elite. Honestly, for this, it's probably best to put like Crosser on him because for the most of the game, he's running crossing routes, if that makes sense. Let's show you the defense. So on defense really you need 2 enforcers and 1 really good pass rusher. So my pass rusher right now is Julius Peppers, and my 2 enforcers need to be DBs, not backers. They need to be DBs. So I have Sean Taylor and Jamal Adams as my enforcers. So now let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, and I'm gonna walk you guys through everything you need to know in order to break 26 on solo battles. All right, so first things first with solo battles, the first thing I really like to do is go in and reorganize my depth chart. I really could do this on the outside, and it's probably best that you do it on the outside, but sometimes I forget. I pretty much go through and I make my slot corner Jamal Adams because he has enforcer. Then I switch around my safety so that Jamal Adams is the second strong safety and Sean Taylor is the second free safety. That way I can get them in on what we're gonna do at the beginning, which is onside kick, or if we ever have to onside kick, I get those 2 enforcers coming in. That way, like you'll see here, when we do our onside kick, we have 2 stars on the field with enforcer. This is maybe sometimes gonna give you a fumble, which is a big part of actually getting points on defense, is causing a fumble. And of course, it shortens the field as well. That way, once you catch your interception, you don't have to run back and waste time. You're already on the other side of the field. Even if you get tackled, you still have at least 80 to 60 yards to go, and you're not wasting time. So the first clue here is to make sure you do onside kick, put your enforcers in, and give the offense a short side of the field. Now I want to go over pretty much defense first and explain to you guys what I'm doing on defense and my defensive goals here. I like to call not what we were doing last time with the field goal block and then audibling, I like to just go ahead and run punt block, and then you can run straight or you can run squeeze, whichever one you may want to run. And you're gonna want to take control of your corner here on this one. The reason why this is so important is because this is a little bit safer and it's a little bit faster than running that punt block scheme where you could get caught in between your corner not making it all the way to the other side of the field. Punt block is just, they already line up over the receivers and you automatically just go ahead and audible. It's a 2 buttons, click, and you're in punt block man, and that's going to go ahead and put everyone, instead of going for the punt block, and they're going to go into coverage after that point. So again, on defense, we're going to come out and punt block, and then we're going to audible into punt block man, and you should be safe across the board. And you're going to control that right corner or the left corner, whichever one. It works on both sides. And as soon as the ball is snapped, or before the ball is snapped, you're going to move your guy away from the receiver, right? So you'll see here that I'm moving him kind of left or right of the receiver, depending on what side you're on. So it looks like he's out of coverage to the computer. As soon as that ball is snapped, I'm going to press speed. I'm going to dash over one way to make it look like I can't get back over to the receiver. Take my hand off of speed. Make sure you don't get too far away on this, because if you do, it could be a touchdown. You don't want to get too far away, but you want to take your hand off of speed and then slowly start making your way back over to the receiver so you can catch that pick. The reason why we don't hold speed is because if you do, you're going to make a diving animation, and that diving animation is going to take you off your feet, and ultimately you're going to fall. Now, I get it. If you're too far away, go ahead and press speed on your way back over to the receiver. The biggest part here is you want to get the pick. Don't not get the pick because you're not trying to fall, okay? So if you can make it back over there without pressing speed, do that. But if you have to, go ahead and press speed. Now, as soon as you get used to this, I would say practice first in solo challenges. Again, we say this every time. Don't come into solo battles trying to do the field goal block or the punt block strat without practicing it first, because you will give up a ton of yards, and those are points, guys. We're trying not to give up a bunch of points or yards here. So practice this first in any solo challenge where the offense has the ball first. They will already go into the same situation that they go into in solo battles. Practice, get used to it, come in, knock it out, okay? Again, so that first tip is to make sure that on special teams you're putting in your enforcers. And then the second tip is to, instead of field goal block this time, go ahead and run punt block and control that corner and make the computer think that the receiver's open, and then dash over there and catch the pick. All right, so those are the first 2 tips that I want to give you guys. The third tip is points don't matter after 50. I haven't really got a big increase by scoring 5,000 points. Right? I've never scored 5,000 points. I would never try to score 5,000 points, but I have scored 120 and didn't get any extra bonuses out of the extra points. 50 is your goal here. You want to get over 50 points per game, and that is what I found to be my sweet spot. If I don't get 50 points a game, I found that it's kind of like I get not penalized, but I don't get as many points. It's harder to break 26 without 50 points. So your third tip here is to score at least 50 points per game. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the offense now, and let's walk through how to run the solo battles offense and everything that you need. So the first thing you want to do, at least for me, is to go ahead and start passing. I like to get the ball as close to the 1 yard line as possible. For you guys who don't have really good pocket presence, don't get too close to the 1 because you don't want to give up a safety. Try starting at the 10 or at the 8, at least to give yourself some time to like back up and not have to worry about getting a sack. So again, if you're kind of worried about your pocket skills, don't go to the 1 yard line, go a little bit further out. But we're gonna start out passing. The reason why is because completions and first downs are more important than running yards and actually rushing attempts. And I've tried that, and I've scored 26 without 100, 200 or 300 rushing yards. And that's why now I start off with passing first, and then I worry about rushing later. So the first thing I want to do, of course, is get that ball wherever you are and get as close to that 1 yard line as possible, and then start the passing attack that I'm about to explain right now. This should be foolproof. If I can do it, you can do it. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fool, but maybe I am. So here we are. We're in the Oakland Raiders playbook, and we're going into that gun empty base flex formation. and we're pretty much going to run no verts, and we're going to put our tight end on a slant. Whether he's on your left or whether he's on your right, you're gonna go ahead and put him in a slant. And for you guys who haven't seen the previous solo battle videos, I've explained this offense before. It's pretty much unstoppable. The computer will not stop you. So again, you're gonna come out into that 4 verts formation. You're gonna put your tight end on a slant, and everything else is just gonna rock after that. Super quick, easy setup. I don't want long setup plays because long setup plays take time off the clock, and we're trying to go as fast as possible to get these games over with, right? So basically what you're gonna wanna do is, again, put your tight end on a slant, and then you're going to read your offense. If you have someone over your receiver that's next to the, so your slot receiver to the right, on the 3-man side, if he presses, that's your first read. You're gonna hit him behind the actual defensive back. And if you have man, you're going to either hit your slot or you're going to hit your crosser. Somebody is always open on this play between those 3 receivers, either your vertical, your slant from the tight end, or your crosser underneath. They're always open. You just have to find them. And that's really why this offense doesn't need a great quarterback or a quarterback with abilities, because these receivers come open so fast. You should just be able to go ahead and hit them all the way down the field. Now, the goal here is to try to get a first down on every pass. You're not going to be able to, but just try to get a first down on every pass. And if you have to fall, just fall. We're trying to go quick. We're not going to run out of bounds, especially in the first quarter, in the third quarter, or in the second quarter over 2 minutes. So here we're going to smartly use our timeouts and just get down. Go ahead and give yourself up by pressing those 2 back buttons, and then pressing, what button is it? Circle on Xbox, B on, no, I got that wrong. Circle on PlayStation, B on Xbox. So as soon as you see me get that first down, you see I'm going to go ahead and give myself up. So again, quick passes, try to get the first down. As soon as you get the first down, give yourself up. When your receivers start getting tired, either substitute them out, those 3 receivers, either substitute them out or go ahead and use your timeout. That's a really good way to know when to use your timeout. If your receivers get tired and they get hit, they're gonna fumble, okay? So all the way down the field, you're gonna try to get as many first downs as possible, because we're not going for points here. We're going for stats. We are trying to get as many first downs as possible. Your goal for the game is 40 first downs and 40 completions. Yes, you need 40 first downs and 40 completions in order to get 26K. So that's why we're doing this very short, quick offense. Again, every time you get the first, go ahead, give yourself up, okay? That is the first key. Every time you score, just go ahead and run the ball in for a touchdown. I like to use the I formation close coming out of the Oakland Raiders playbook. I put one of my best left tackles at tight end, and then I put both of my tight ends at receiver just to get better blocking. I go ahead and run that stretch play, make sure my finger's not on speed, and I slowly just make my way right outside my receiver and my tackle, and I score every time. So every time you score, do not kick a field goal. Go for the 2-point conversion. Is a big part of making sure you get all of your points. So every time we score, we're going for 2. Go for 2, go for 2, go for 2, go for 2. Now let's actually talk second half and second quarter. In the third quarter, we're going to pretty much run the same thing, but let's actually talk about second quarter right now. In second quarter, what I like to do, same thing. We're doing the same thing. As of right now, I probably don't have any rushing yards yet. What I do is I basically just continue to pass, continue to get those first downs. By second half, I normally have somewhere around like 23 or 28 first downs in the bag. That's normally my go-to to let me know that I'm on track. So you'll see that I'm continuously just continue to pass, continue to pass, continue to pass. Don't go out of bounds, no huddle. Same thing that we were doing in the first quarter until I hit that 2-minute mark. After that 2-minute mark, if I've already been passing and I'm close to actually scoring, I'll go ahead and finish that drive off and scoring and picking up as many first downs as possible. Or what I'll do is I'll switch over to my run now, because under 2 minutes, I'm gonna try to run out of bounds every time I get the ball. And running is just a faster way to ensure that I'm gonna be close to the sideline or get at least tackled when I'm out of bounds. So clock stops under 2 minutes in the second quarter. That's when I know to switch over to running. I'm gonna run that I close stretch play, and every time I'm gonna try to get as far out of close to the sideline and get out of bounds as possible. Here, the goal is to continue to pick up first downs, right? Again, we're not trying to score. We're not trying to break big runs. We're trying to get to the first, get out of bounds. This is actually really good for people who struggle running. Instead of putting your abilities and superstars on your quarterback, maybe put them on 2 running backs. That way, once your first running back gets tired, you can put in your backup and still won't lose any ability to get out the pocket or run those zone plays. So if you have 2 really good running backs and you're struggling with running, just go ahead and put your abilities on both running backs and then 1 receiver, and you should be good to go here with this offense as well. So you'll see I'm just getting out of bounds every time. If I don't get out of bounds, I no huddle and I try to get back into the formation, get out of bounds. If you see your running back bending over because he's tired, call a timeout. Or at least try to get out of bounds or audible to a pass play and stop the clock, because you don't want to fumble here because you're tired again. So again, first downs, get out of bounds as much as possible underneath 2 minutes, stop that clock, preserve your timeouts if possible, because we're going to continue to run the field goal block scheme until the computer decides not to throw verticals anymore. Defense, I like to I don't really run the field goal block formation in the second quarter after 2 minutes unless I need yards on behind on first downs. If I'm at that 25-28 mark, I go ahead and switch over to mid blitz. So what you're gonna do is come out into that nickel formation, and you're not gonna call mid blitz. You're going to call a zone play like cover 2 or cover 3, anything that's not man and is not a blitz. The reason why you're doing this is because the computer doesn't audible when you audible. The computer is simply going to come out in a play that beats your zone play first, and then once you audible, you're going to be set up. The computer is not going to know the mid blitz is coming. You're faking out the computer, all right? So you're going to go ahead, press your corners, make sure they're playing over the top so you don't get beat off the jam. You're going to bring your safeties as close down to the line of scrimmage as possible, and you're going to try to control the safety that's over the running back. If the running back blocks, go ahead and go for the quarterback. If the running back doesn't block, just go ahead and try to cover the running back as much as possible. Your defensive end or whoever you have that has the pass rush abilities on them is going to get the sack. You're good to go. If you can, here's a great time to try to get the fumble. The fumble is a big part of actually getting 26K. You're going to get points, you get the fumble, try to put on strip and try to strip the ball out of the quarterback's hand. Now, the last thing that we do here on defense, if we can score, we score on defense. You also want to get 1 score on defense if possible, all right? So again, we're trying to get, this is a lot of information. Hope you guys are taking this in. Again, we're trying to get 40 first downs, 40 completions, 250 yards rushing. We're trying to get at least 5 sacks per game, and we do that by calling mid blitz in the end of the second quarter and at the end of the fourth quarter. And then we're trying to get 400 yards passing and about 40 completions. Okay. Now this is all you need to do on solo battles to get 26K. You guys saw the gameplay here. That's exactly how I did it. This is all of my stats, and this is how I got 26K. So this is the last one for 2020, guys. Last one for 2020. This is the ultimate solo battle guide, and it is accumulation of all the solo battle guides and everything you need to know. So if I didn't explain something fully, make sure you check out the other ones because it's the same offense, same scheme. All I did was this time was show you guys the exact same stats that you need for 26K. Now, if you guys enjoyed it, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Again, we are trying to hit 10,000 subs by the end of this year. We got the Discord channel. Make sure you guys check out the Discord channel, and all of that good stuff is down in the description. Yeah, it's your boy DJ the Chef. It's been love. It's always love. You guys knew that already. We out.